Everybody to yet another review of the Volkswagen Polo. I've done the 1.2 TSI, I've done the 1.5 TDI, I've done the 1 liter TSI manual, and then this, the 1 liter TSI automatic. The big news with this car, since I've already driven the 1 liter TSI, so that's not the big news. The big news with this car is that it does not have a DSG gearbox anymore. It has a torque converter. So let's see how this car is. So the front of the car, it's got the same 1 liter TSI, it's got the GTI updated bumper. The only difference with the earlier car I reviewed was that this has GT badges and that's about it. There's literally no other change from this compared to the Highline Plus of the other car that I had. When you come to the side of the car, you'll notice that you've got a spoiler which is available at the back, and you've got black mirrors, and that's about it. And you have GT TSI badges on the C pillar, but that's about it. So coming to the rear, the changes are this GT TSI badges which used to be in the earlier GT TSI, the 1.2 TSI as well, and it's got a black wing, and that's about it. It has literally no other changes. Maybe that BS6 badge, that's about it. Very minimal changes. So there are some minor changes to the inside of this car compared to the other Polo, the 1 liter TSI Highline. The first change you'll notice is the GT TSI, the door sill badges, and the second change you'll see is the upholstery. So the Highline gets the plain black upholstery. This has the slight pattern design, if you can say, on the seats, and that's about it. There is literally no other change. Perhaps there's also one change. There is gloss black on the center console instead of the grey that the Highline has. This has gloss black, but again, those are probably the only 3 changes inside here compared to the Highline. So now I'm behind the wheel of the 1 liter TSI automatic. Now it has a 6-speed torque converter, which is big news. The earlier GT TSI used to have a 7-speed DQ200 dual clutch gearbox. So the shifter looks exactly the same. You put into drive and let go, and you'll instantly notice that this car has a nice creep. It pulls from creep really fast. In fact, I tested it and you can actually reach almost up to 20 or 25 kph just by using the creep mode without actually using the accelerator at all, which is pretty immense and actually sometimes too much of a handful in stop-start traffic. But again, once you get going, it's really easy and you never actually have to floor in this car. You know, you can make some really good progress just by touching the accelerator, and you're way above the speed limit, which is anyways, let's be honest, a little on the lower side, but it's very easy to breach that. So you'll have to be careful because this car is also known for its, you know, masking capabilities. It masks speed really well. You don't know sometimes that you are actually above the speed limit, which is, again, it's a good thing, but you'll have to be very wary of that. You'll have to be careful of making sure that you're looking at the speedometer. Other characteristics are just like a Polo. It's nice to ride. The steering also is weighty. It's got some feedback, but it's not the best around. As you can see, I just touched the throttle, and the buzzy nature of the engine, you hear the engine and you're up and going, and you're going 60-70 very easily, which again is, it's a nice thing. You never actually have to floor this car for anything. Downsides are that brakes, again, same problem. The engine is a bomb. The engine is too fast. The brakes can't keep up with this car. I feel like the brakes are insufficient to handle the power this car has. So if you buy this car, please look at options to upgrade. Otherwise, again, I also find the headlights throw at night particularly weak. I mean, I wish that was a little better, but that's nitpicking. That can't be a deal breaker personally, I feel, because that's something that can be fixed as well. But again, yeah, it's just a Polo. It's been around with us for a long time. It's got some strong points. It rides very well. I think it looks very well. And now that the torque converter, you have the reliability in your mind. You know the gearbox is not going to die on you. And I think it's a good thought by Volkswagen to put the torque converter in this, because now they've launched it in other cars as well. They have the Kushaq, they have the Taygun with the same engine, they have the Rapid as well. So that's a good thought that they've removed the DSG with this, and I think it's a nice overall small compact car which you can use in a daily and enjoy it. I mean, you floor it and it just downshifts and you can hear the buzzy nature, but then when you go higher up the revs, you can hear the 3-cylinder thrum of the engine, which is not ideal. So you don't and the good thing is you never actually have to reach the red line. So most of the time you might not actually hear the buzzy, thrummy nature of the engine. In conclusion then, the Volkswagen Polo. I think it's a great little car. I mean, the engine is amazing, the ride is good, and the handling is decent. The space in the back is pretty poor, and the boot is just about adequate. Finally, it does have a reliable gearbox. It has a torque converter, not the dodgy DQ200 DSG gearbox that is prone to fail. So this torque converter does make this car much more appealing for the family man, and I think Volkswagen should have done this long back. I think now this car has the gearbox. It should have got it from day one, and it's a great car overall. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.